We're getting into a really significant story today, the passing of Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea, of course. He was 71, passed on July 24th, 2025. Beyond just the headlines, I really want to understand, what made him such a towering figure. Where do we even start unpacking a life like his?
Yeah, that's a big question because the immediate news, the passing on July 24th, it's what's top of mind, obviously. But what's really striking is, how quickly things seem to change. Medics went to his home in Clearwater, Florida, early Thursday morning. The call described it as a cardiac arrest, and he was pronounced dead at a hospital nearby. And the fascinating part here is that this happened just weeks after his wife, Sky, had, publicly denied rumors he was in a coma. She'd said his heart was strong, that he was recovering from surgeries. There were even whispers last month, weren't there, about him being on his deathbed potentially, linked to a neck procedure back in May, and also a pretty serious heart procedure.
Wow. So yeah, incredibly sudden then, especially after hearing those reassurances. It really makes you step back and look at the huge footprint he left. How would you describe that initial, almost unbelievable impact he had on professional wrestling? I mean, when he beat the Iron Sheik in '84 for the World Heavyweight Championship, Hulkamania just exploded. And that phenomenon, honestly, it never really faded, did it? He kind of single-handedly turned wrestling into this family entertainment spectacle.
He really did.
Yeah.
Hogan wasn't just, a wrestler. He was a master of reinvention, almost a marketing force in himself.
Yeah.
That whole say your prayers, take your vitamins thing. It wasn't just a catchphrase. It was like a blueprint, a clean-cut hero that totally changed wrestling's image, moving it from maybe a niche thing to mainstream family viewing. Right. He wasn't just part of the WWE. He was the engine, really.
Yeah.
Propelled it globally, helped make it this multi-billion-dollar business we see now. It just shows his incredible ability to adapt and stay on top through different times.
Mm-hmm. And he kept redefining himself, even inside the ring. You think about that legendary match against Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3rd, or facing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson years later at WrestleMania X8. Huge moments. And then that massive shift in '96, going from the ultimate good guy to the villain Hollywood Hulk Hogan with the NWO. That was more than just a character tweak.
Oh, absolutely. Not just a tweak. It was groundbreaking, like this meta-narrative blurring the lines between wrestling story, the kayfabe, and, reality. It fundamentally changed how fans looked at wrestling storytelling.
Yeah.
It proved Hogan just got how to stay relevant, how to keep people hooked. If you look at the big picture, that move cemented his fame even further and kept wrestling itself fresh and unpredictable, made it bigger culturally.
Right. And his influence went way beyond the ring, too. He had this whole other film career, which is kind of surprising when you think back. Started with Thunderlips and Rocky III way back in '82. And No Holds Barred, Mr. Nanny, all those. Then reality TV with Hogan Knows Best on VH1 gave us a peek into his family life. Plus random appearances on shows like, The Love Boat? He was genuinely everywhere and a pop culture force.
Totally. And he didn't stop there. He's an entrepreneur too. Launched things like Real American Beer, the Real American Freestyle Amateur Wrestling League. Mm-hmm. And he even showed up at the 2024 Republican National Convention. Sources said he set the room ablaze with theatrics.
Yeah.
Quite the image.
Yeah. Of course, living such a huge life so publicly, it often brings complexities, right? Public struggles. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame twice, 2005 and 2020, but there was that period in 2015 where he was removed, stemming from those racist comments on that secretly recorded tape. He was later reinstated, though.
Mm-hmm. And he was also really open, especially later on, about the physical cost, the toll wrestling took. He said at one point he had no original body parts left. Talked about arthritis, scoliosis, just immense pain. And it brings up that question, doesn't it? How do you square that larger-than-life persona, the immortal Hulk Hogan, with the vulnerable person dealing with real pain, real controversies? He actually mentioned that himself, how people saw him as just this one-dimensional wrestler. But he enjoyed simple stuff, like going to soccer games or apparently crying during The Lion King. It makes him more human.
Yeah, he seemed to understand that complexity about his own image. He famously said, "I'm not perfect, but it's about standing up, owning it, and moving forward." It's a powerful line, feels relevant to his whole story.
It definitely is. And, talking about owning it, those controversies, like the racist remarks, they do cast a shadow or at least force a reevaluation of his legacy, especially maybe for people who didn't grow up with Hulkamania. It just highlights that, the persona was iconic, but the man, undeniably human, flaws and all.
For sure. Hulk Hogan leaves behind just a truly unique, undeniable impact. Across entertainment, across culture, it's a legacy that's going to stick around.
Absolutely. And maybe something for you, the listener, to think about is this. Just consider how rare it is for one person to completely break out of their field like he did, to become this global pop culture figure while navigating really public ups and downs, constantly reinventing himself. What does that tell us maybe about the power of a persona, about resilience, especially when you're living under that constant public microscope?